Good morning to you. How are you this morning? I'm doing okay. I'm listening to a little heavy metal here on WSOU, the Pirate, or whatever it's called. Good morning. It is Tuesday, July 25th. Here in the year of our Lord 2017. And I'm here alone. So, that's how it goes sometimes in the car. You don't always have a guest. My guest should be Gwynne, but she's not here at the moment. But she lives close. So, how are you? So it's a quiet morning here on Pineapple Street in Brooklyn Heights. There is a movie being shot, or television show, called Nor'easter, and it is hogging, parking on both sides of the street in many directions. So I was lucky to get a parking spot. I had to get up super early. All these people on the other side of the street, I predict they will be unhappy to discover that they cannot park anywhere in the neighborhood this week. What are you going to do? That's New York living. People want to shoot a movie here. I wonder what it could be about, Nor'easter. Movie title can be deceptive. You never know. Could be about a nor'easter, like the movie The Perfect Storm was about the perfect storm. But only time will tell. When this movie Nor'easter comes out, I want you to think about the fact that I couldn't park in front of my own house because because Nor'easter was being filmed. But again, I remember there was a time here in Brooklyn Heights where they actually put a moratorium on shooting movies here because they were shooting so many. Talk about death by popularity, I guess. There's a better term for that. Being loved to death, perhaps. Our neighborhood got some of that old school movie, old school New York feel sometimes. They shot some scenes from Bridge of Spies down my block, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And Spielberg was right outside my house. How about that? What else has been shot here? They shot some weird pickup scene for Burn After Reading, stuff like that. What? Trump continues public shaming of Sessions. Ugh. Thanks for the depressing news update, iPhone. Buh. I'm trying to think of what other movies have been shot here. There's some movie called Sniper something. There was one day there was a whole bunch of guys dressed in SWAT gear outside my apartment that I don't believe were for an actual emergency, but were for some movie. What else? There's a bunch of film school kids that live in this dorm on our corner, so I don't know. There's always kids running around here with tripods and DSLRs and shooting their great ideas. What are you gonna do? It's artist types, am I right? Good morning to you. That's what I say. So I'm here, stuck in my car, as per usual, on Tuesday morning, due to the fact that the city needs to clean these streets. Now, of course, Travis Bickle said that one day a real rain will come to wash away, yada yada. You've seen Taxi Driver. I can't remember the full quote, but just by mentioning it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're a cinephile. Yeah. I mean, this is a pretty cleanish neighborhood. I guess, maybe, if they're going to update this law, I would say to do it every other week. Because I just don't think that much trash is building up here. Now, of course, we could go back to the 1970s when things were a little more grimy. And also a lot of people in this neighborhood, well, in the 70s, this neighborhood was not as posh as it is today. So that's I think it was the 70s and 80s was when the Watchtower bought most of these properties that are in this neighborhood that they're now in the process of selling. They're making quite a pretty penny. The 80s was when my building went co-op. It was like a special time in the city when landlords were kind of flipping out because there was not a lot of money. So it was a good thing, 70s and 80s, in that way. You know, some people are like, that was the old New York, that was the real New York. I remember being a lot more scary than that. But that's because I was a child and things were bigger and scarier to me back then. Now, I have real fears. Some of them are similar. I don't want to be assaulted in the street. There's a lot less. I'm trying to think of like gritty New York. Did it feel dirtier? It looks dirty in all the pictures, but I think that may be just the tone of the film these days, or those days. I do remember there used to be a place in the corner of my Broadway by my house. There was like a weird hot dog stand, and that was replaced eventually by a long string of restaurants through the 80s and 90s, and now it's a bank. I think that feels like that's like going to be New York's epitaph. And now it's a bank. Or Starbucks. One of those two. So, one of the nice things about today is that it is cool. Like earlier in the week and last week, it was in the 90s. So I can just have the windows on. I don't have to actually have the car on. I have the, car off, phone plugged in. Popular rap song. Just to get the phone battery. But I can have the windows open. I can't have the sunroof open because then it just blows me out. And I just look like, some kind of spaceman, perhaps. Perhaps that's what you'd like to see, a spaceman. If you're in New York City and you want to go see an improv show, because that's what one does when you're in the city. I have an improv show this Thursday. I know that you got nothing better to do. So, come see my improv show at the Pit Thursday night at 9:30, I believe. It's really best to just show up around 8-ish and then just be there all night and then go to the show when I'm on and then do whatever afterwards. So X+1 this Thursday. I'm so glad I could tell you about it because normally I forget. I mean, I did post on Facebook. I did some minor social due diligence, but, after doing improv for, almost, I don't even know anymore, almost 20 years, less than that, because I took some time off. But, it's hard to get people to come out to see the show. Wait, no, this is like, what, swipe left to see the viewers? Oh, that's because there's nobody there right now. That is a depressing realization. But, what are you going to do? So, I had something I wanted to talk to you about. But I cannot recall what it is. Trying to think. Oh, I started a new book. I actually bought a bunch of books, which is unlike me. I bought the latest in the Halo book series. Well, actually, I'm several books behind. But it's hard to keep up because they have multiple authors doing them. And that means that they can churn them out faster. But I like to keep up with the mythology of the Halo video game universe. Fantastic storytelling. Oh, what a world that they live in. And then I also bought, this is going to be backwards for you, Captain's Fury. Now, it is squarely in the garbage fantasy book universe of books. I enjoy it, but that doesn't mean it's worth reading. It's just sort of like I'm following the story. It's not. Now, this author, Jim Butcher, I read the Dresden Files, his wizard noir book series. I tore through it last year. I enjoyed it. I'll say that. This series, it's okay. I feel like I'm continuing on through the series not the same way. With the Dresden Files, I tore through it. I was just like, close that book, beep, order another book. And he said, did beep, because I was going to Amazon to buy the books used. Sometimes I bought them new. But yeah, it's it's amazing that people will sell a book for like a penny and then I guess make money on the shipping. It's weird. Regardless, I read that whole series. This one I've read it and then I've kind of been like, I guess I'll buy the next book. It's something to do, which is rarely a great motivator for activities. But in this case, reading this book is something to do, so that's what I'm doing. And it's okay. I'm not going to give you a synopsis, because if you like fantasy books, you probably heard of this book already. What are you going to do? What's the other book? Oh, I also bought a book called Meddling Kids, which I read about maybe on Kotaku, which is not normally where I get book recommendations from, but it seemed like an impassioned review. So it's sort of a Scooby-Doo, alt Scooby-Doo world where the teen crime solvers have grown up, and now they're dealing with the repercussions of the fact that they were exposed to so many horrible crimes as children, and how they have to figure out this one crime that they never really solved, or something like that. I haven't read it yet. I just got it. Give me a break. So that's 3 books I'm reading right now. Not really reading. I'm only reading this one, Captain's Fury. And it is kind of, whenever people are saying, what are you reading? I say, oh, just some garbage. Now I get that's self-deprecating and may not be the healthiest attitude. I should proudly say I'm reading a fantasy novel by Jim Butcher. But I think there's some stigma around that. I saw a very youngish squirrel. I saw a younger squirrel than that. You don't in New York. I don't know if in other places, but in New York you rarely see juvenile squirrels. And I saw one last week, and I was like, "Wow, that is a tiny, thin squirrel." And then I didn't do anything because it's a wild thing and I didn't want to bother it. Anyway, so, I mean, when you're reading a fantasy book, do you read fantasy books? I mean, I'm reading this novel, but like I said, I don't bring it up in general discussion because I don't want to be book shamed. You know, I'm not reading a Cormac McCarthy or any sort of heady novels. I'm reading a fantasy book, followed by a sci-fi video game-based novel, and then this Meddling Kids book, which is also sort of based on a Scooby-Doo-ish universe. I don't think any of that is impressing anybody. Just the act of reading should be impressive. But I guess perhaps maybe I should be reading more heady materials. Certainly I have plenty of them in the apartment. Oh, so many unread books. So many books I've started and put down. Not a great feeling, when you. I think the book I don't regret not finishing it, but Infinite Jest. I do regret not finishing that book because I had a coworker who told me I wouldn't finish it because many of her much smarter friends had also not finished it, and while that is insulting. In many ways, she was saying, oh, I have some friends who are like English majors or scholars who didn't finish it. I made it 1,000 pages into the book, and it was a real struggle for me. And I was reading it like 10 pages at a time, and like literally stopping every time there was a footnote, and then going to the back and reading the footnote part, and then coming back and being like, it was just exhausting. And I wonder if I picked it up again today, if I would be able to just pick up where I left off, or would I have to start at the beginning? I was really frustrated. In that book, I remember was the only book that I was ever like, I'm not understanding the words in this book. And so I was like, I'm going to get a dictionary and look it up like they say you should do when you're in school. Like, you come across a word you don't know, look it up. So I did that. And then the very first 10 pages of that book, there's so many words that are 8 consonants or whatever, that I had to flip through the dictionary. And I was just getting I have your supposed fun reading novel here, and then you got your dictionary here, and you're like, oh. And then I was like, why was he using these words? It comes into play later in the story, of course, but I was very frustrated. Needless to say, as I have said before, because I have said before, or to bring it back, I didn't finish it, and regret it only because that proved that lady I used to work with right. Boy, oh boy, that really burns my beans. So yeah, I'm reading this book, sitting in the car. And the funny thing is, so it's what time is it? 7:20 now. I mean, I have to sit here until 5 to 8, and I find that right now I'm not having trouble staying awake to be in the car. When I come home in the afternoon at 4:30, I gotta leave work at 4:30 to be here by 5 o'clock to move the car to the other side of the street. For some reason, when I'm sitting in the car that time of the day, I cannot stay awake. And I'll be in my car trying to just take a cat nap, and it is not comfortable to take a cat nap in these car seats. And it's not a Subaru thing. I had that same problem when I had the Honda. It is a drag. And, I can remember one time, it was freezing outside. I was in my car, parked on the side of the street, and I ended up being I'm just going to pass out. I'm so sleepy sitting in this car. And then, I passed out, and I woke up just gunning it in my sleep. Just the car just revving, because my foot had moved over to the gas pedal. And it was kind of a terrifying thing. I guess better to wake up parked because of alternate side parking than waking up revving it on the highway, which is a terrifying thing. I'm trying to think. Have you had any close encounters with almost falling asleep on the car while you're driving? I know I've had kind of close calls where I've been I'm super tired. Oh, look, did I fall asleep? Kind of moments. I believe I had one of my cousins had a moment where they actually woke up in a snowbank between Milwaukee and Madison. Back in the days when they used to commute or travel back and forth on the weekends when they were in college. And to me, that was how does that even happen? But I didn't have a driver's license then. And being a New Yorker who never drives, I didn't get my driver's license until I was in my 20s. Now I have 2 friends who didn't get their driver's licenses until they were either in their 40s or almost 40s. But you can live in New York with no driver's license, and that's just a kind of unique thing about it. Anyway, let's see. What's happening on SOU? Oh, Seton Hall Pirate Radio does not disappoint. Yes. Okay. I do recall one of my favorite things about SOU Pirate Radio is, of course, that it is 99% metal. When the only time it's not metal is maybe on Sundays they do ethnic or regional programming, and then sometimes they do you turn it on and there's a Seton Hall basketball game or something like that. One, you got to give them the station credit for being all metal all the time. I mean, it's amazing. I'm not a super metal freak. Certainly I know several, but it's just great that they can actually get away with doing that. I do have a complaint with how frequently they do their station promos, because they're kind of like, I think you only get like 3 songs, and then it's just like Seton Hall News, Seton Hall blah 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 blah. It's like, I understand it's not for me, but I still would like it to be maybe more me-centric, or just play more metal. We used to use WSOU to wake up in the morning. That was a long time ago now, but when we used to have the radio alarm clock going, we would listen to it, and that's how I discovered the Hatebreed song, Destroy Everything, which I sincerely love. It is a great, ridiculous heavy metal song. Because who doesn't, empathize with the lyrics, destroy everything, eliminate what makes us weak. Eliminate what drains me. Seriously, it's a good song. But it was a song that I woke up to and I started laughing at and realized that I really enjoyed it. What was the other thing? Oh, it's funny. There was a period when Ace, my oldest child, was younger, and there was a whole bunch of it was the period of when LMFAO was really big, Sexy and I Know It, and we used to put that station that would play that song on every morning, and I would be like, I hate this fucking song, and then over time I grew to love that song. Not love's a strong word, but I was surprised at how waking up to bad pop music every morning will eventually make you be kind of like, yeah, that's a great song. Sexy and I Know It. I mean, for a year I despised that song, and then having waking up to it, and then seeing the video and being like, oh, I remember those guys from Real World Mexico or something like that, Cancun maybe. Those guys party with the real rules, no, you know what I'm talking about. The real world house party people. Yeah, there was an episode of Real World where LMFAO comes and parties with the crew. Oh, here's my guest. Oh, is it open? Ah, my favorite trick.
Lock your guest out.
I think you're open now. Oh, it's my guest entering the studio.
Here's your coffee.
Oh, this is really for me?
Yes.
Very, very kind of you. Oh, it's so cold on the outside.
But it's hot on the inside.
Hot on the inside.
No further comment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is kind of like, what's that show? Do we do karaoke?
Comedians? Oh, you mean James Corden?
Yes.
But
it's much
We
cooler.
could, but you see, I'm listening to this morning.
What are you listening to? What is this?
Seton Hall Pirate Radio. It's a college radio station out of New Jersey that only plays heavy metal.
Programming on WSOU.
Now it's a commercial, so we can't
That
really
makes
do
me
it.
crabby.
Heavy metal makes you crabby?
At this hour of the morning.
Actually,
heavy metal makes me crabby pretty much any time.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I was saying to
to your audience.
Are
we live?
We are live. We are. I was saying that at one point, Jody and I we used to listen to WSOU in the morning to wake us up because it was absurd, like this insane heavy metal.
I understand that.
But I eventually started being kind of like, yeah, this is great music.
Oh, you're like, I got a problem.
Well, I was saying that one of my favorite songs, it's not a favorite song, but it's a song I enjoy, is by this band called Hatebreed. And it's a song called Destroy Everything.
Oh, okay.
And I looked it up.
For the day.
I woke up, it was one of those songs where I woke up laughing because I was like, this song is hilarious. And then once I got to work, I was like, oh my God, this video is amazing, because I watched the video for the song.
Right.
And the bassist is like one of these like terrifying guys who's like shaved head, but he's not like skinhead, but he just looks like a giant monster of a man. And he's like making these like scary faces as he's like, eliminate what drains you. Cleanse this world with flame.
Okay. That's good lyrics.
Anyway.
Maybe you can invite him on the show.
I would love to have anyone from Hatebreed on the show.
Are they still around?
I believe the people in the band are still alive. I don't know if they tour.
Well, we're gonna have to investigate.
Yeah, but so yeah, it was very funny. But then I was saying, similarly, there was a period where we were listening to like pop radio.
Yeah.
So
like current pop radio.
Yes, but this is a
like
while
Selena
ago.
Gomez type stuff.
Yeah, where I was just like, I hate this music so much, like LMFAO and then slowly over the period of time, I'd wake up and be kind of like, I'm sexy and I know, and like waking up like, yeah, I really like the song, wiggle, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just a weird feeling, like to suddenly realize that you had embraced all those things that you hated.
Yeah. So, was the hate misplaced or was the embracement misplaced?
I don't know. Like I think maybe I had.
Well, we're just gonna say.
We'll take it into the official dictionary.
Alternate side talking lexicon.
You know, like I think there's a knee-jerk reaction to be like, I don't like this because it's new and it's certain types of music tend to be sort of vacuous and whatever, and you can't appreciate them. And then over multiple listenings, the LMFAO video made me understand the song better. Like I finally went and looked it up, and I was like, oh, like this band is just real stupid and like embraces it, and it's just like all about this kind of funny, ridiculous concept. And that made me be kind of like, oh, I can actually enjoy this song. There's actually
some intelligence behind it.
Not like like a G6, like all those. There was like that period of song. Do you remember that song?
No.
Fly like a G6. No. It's like about a jet. Anyway, it's all stupid. But yeah, and then eventually you just get overexposed to a point where you know it, even if you don't want to know it.
Oh yeah, it's like all the songs that you know most of the words to from when you were a kid.
Were we talking about that, or were we just talking about with somebody else that like now is as our childhoods are? You can put the seat back or do whatever you like.
I'm totally comfortable.
Okay.
Make some leg room for myself.
I brought luggage. All the songs that as a preteen I despised out of whatever reason of being like, I don't listen to that because I'm into new wave.
Right.
Now I'll just be driving and be like, Panama, whatever. Like,
I know, there's something comforting in that.
Yeah, like
when do you cross that bridge?
That bridge being like, oh, I remember this is my youth. I was really angry. I didn't like this song very much.
But no,
the more I look back at these things, it's always. Sometimes I didn't like the music at the time, but now I sort of appreciate it. But more often than not, it's more like, I didn't like the people that were listening to that music.
Exactly. That's exactly what it's about.
Yep.
Why?
There are a few bands that I haven't been able to bridge the gap on, like The Dead, The Fish. Not The Fish, just Fish. Blues Traveler. What's the other ones? Heavy Traffic.
What's Heavy Traffic?
Isn't that one of those bands? I don't know. That's also a movie by Ralph Bakshi. That's very weird.
I would imagine.
Do you remember Ralph Bakshi?
Yeah, he's Fritz the Cat. Right?
Yes, he made the Fritz the Cat movie.
I've never seen that.
It's X-rated, I think.
I don't think I need to see that.
Why did I? So I was allowed to rent that as a child.
That's great. Good therapy.
But I was a really big animation fan, so.
Yeah, I understand.
Did you ever see Wizards?
No.
Oh, it's a famous. And also Bakshi weirdness.
Yeah, I'm not a Bakshi person.
Sorry to hear that. Oh, what is the movie? Fuck.
Oh, we swear on this show?
It's Facebook Live. There's no rules.
Do we have any viewers?
2 people.
Woo-hoo!
Let's see who's
Who are
there. Oh, is it this way? Oh.
Who's watching us?
It looks like a man, Anna and Jason.
Long. Hi, Anna and Jason.
And these are some of my other relatives.
Hey, guess what? Michael Herzenberg from New York One in our neighborhood right now talking about city bikes.
What?
Yeah, I think.
Which one is he? It's not Pat Kiernan, or the older black
anchor.
man. Yeah,
that's Louis Johns.
Okay.
Michael Herzenberg. He's one of their ace
Please don't
reporters.
take offense for him.
And I've decided that maybe I should date him. So maybe we should text at him or something. Tweet at him, whatever one does.
Oh,
say, hey, Michael, while you're in the neighborhood.
I wish I had his social.
Show.
Do you have his social?
Yeah.
So text him.
I don't know how to do that.
Oh. You say at him.
Yeah. I'm too shy. I didn't.
Hush, hush, eye to eye.
Yeah, exactly. So, are we going to talk about this major film shoot that's happening behind us?
Nor'easter?
It's not really called that.
What's it called?
That's the code name.
Oh, is it like Sharknado?
No, it's Steven Spielberg's new movie.
You
The paper about the Pentagon Papers. Although they're covering it from the Washington Post point of view, so as a New York Times person, that annoys me.
That's political.
Meryl Streep, Tom Hanks. Right back there.
Oh.
In front of my house, there's all these cool 1970s
Oh,
cars.
see, I was talking earlier in this broadcast about how...
And the Punch Buggy Classic that lives around here should be in it.
I know, right? There's a Punch Buggy Classic that I have been punched with so many times. Show them.
Can you see this? See that cab?
Oh, it's like an old cab.
It kind of looks like French Connection's happening.
Cool.
But it's not.
But I was thinking this neighborhoad, there was a point where they did a moratorium on shooting here because they were shooting so many things. That was
but if you're Steven Spielberg and you have Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks,
he proved that after Bridge of Spies, he can do whatever he wants.
Right.
Remember when he shot that down the street and it was like all Studebakers driving down Henry Street? And then he was like outside of my apartment.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, Stevie!
I remember years ago when they shot The Departed.
Sure.
Over on on Remsen and Henry or Hicks.
They shot part of The Departed?
Yeah, there's in one of the brownstones they shot one scene. But it was raining. It had to be raining outside, so they put this big thing in the intersection, and they made it rain.
Yeah, they did that for Bridge of Spies too, I think.
It's cool how they make movies.
Yeah, I can remember as a kid going to someone's birthday party in Chinatown and driving by what I later figured out was this phone booth scene from the movie FX.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Do you remember the movie FX, where they're sort of like the Australian or English special effects guy, and the FBI hires him to
Brian Brown. Is that his name? The Australian guy?
Yeah, and he's they hire him to fake a shooting at this restaurant of this mobster, and then they send him up to be the actual murderer.
Shoot it. I think I did see that movie.
There's a scene where he's it's pouring rain, and he gets in an elevator, and someone tries to kill him in the phone booth. And I remember driving by it and seeing just this rectangle of rain.
Yeah,
and being kind of like, what is that about? But trying to think of, and you remember that they shot a scene from Burn After Reading?
Oh yes.
And it's literally, it was like a pickup shoot. It's like the opposite angle of, what's his face?
That was George Clooney, right?
The handsome.
Or Matt Damon.
No,
George Clooney.
Burn After Reading has Tyler Durden in it. What's his face? The guy's married to Brad Pitt.
Oh, Brad Pitt.
And Brad Pitt is talking to someone in a car, and it's literally just they shot into Cadman Plaza.
Oh yeah.
As the opposite shot to the car, and it was one of those. Yeah. Why did they do that? And I think there's also some brownstone-y scenes in there because it looks like the parts of old or just whatever Washington D.C.
Oh right, like the Americans, they shoot that all over here too.
They do shoot the Americans over here.
Supposed to be in D.C.
Why can't they shoot there?
Because
let us have our parking.
Because they all live here. They don't bother me.
The movie shoots?
You don't have a car Americans anymore. Don't bother me.
Oh.
Because I don't think I don't think they hog up the neighborhood a lot like Mr. Spielberg.
No. The TV shows tend to be.
They're pretty lean.
In and out.
Yeah.
But Spielberg get a little feather in the cap for the neighborhood.
Exactly. Everyone will complain, but oh no, you can't put it over there.
No, I can't.
Sorry. I'm there's two spots right there on the wrong side of the street.
It's not fair.
So, this afternoon, what's going to be happening?
Typically,
with
movie shoots, they are gone by. Not always.
This is a big setup. You might see some action this afternoon.
I know. It's kind of a bummer.
It'll be fun. You can live stream it on the show. Afternoon edition.
The afternoon edition, I know. There's been some discussion as to whether or not I should have a cocktail hour in the car.
Yes, I proposed that because A, it would be fun, and B, it would be a lot easier for your guests to get here during the show.
Sure, and give people a lot more.
I haven't had breakfast yet, and I'm getting cranky.
Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that.
Didn't have time. I had to make my call time.
I understand. I was up at 6:20 and I heard your text That's why I heard your text. Because I knew there was going to be no parking for this great movie. I was going to say stupid movie, but that's judgy.
Don't be judgy. When it wins an Oscar, you're going to be excited that we were sitting here.
Now, how do you know it's the Pentagon Papers?
Because I know about the
delicious
movie.
Coffee, by the way. I forgot.
You're welcome. It's from 4 Barrel in San Francisco. My favorite coffee ever.
4 Barrel?
4 Barrel Coffee, San Francisco. I have it imported because I love it so much.
Imported all the way
Francisco.
from San Francisco.
I have a monthly subscription.
Do you?
Yes.
Wow.
In fact, my next batch is on its way.
Oh, well, I'm glad I was concerned I had drained you of your last
It was my
dregs
last cup.
of, oh my gosh.
I only make 3 in the morning, and I gave you one of them.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
You're
it.
very welcome.
There was
I hope that its accoutrements are to your liking.
It was delicious, and the presentation, fantastic.
I really want to get you alternate side talking
Coffee
mugs.
up here. That sounds
Where's
great.
your logo? We need some artwork. And I think it has to look like, this is my idea. It has to look like the sign, right?
Yeah, sure. I'm down.
And either we hand write over the parking talking, or we just use the right font.
Use the font. I did make, I'll show it to you afterwards. I made some art because I was going to use a different program where you could actually put art in and then like trigger it like as a regular TV show.
Yeah.
I'll explain it to you later. And so that's a big problem with just in general when you want to do a thing, like having a logo made for something that's like a frivolous side project is like well, that's the thing, is like if you have some
having a logo
skill
made for a non-frivolous project.
Yes, it is, except that there's like no chance for money to be made in the future.
Right.
It's hard to justify being like, hey, can you spend? Can I spend a couple $100 and you can make my logo for me?
All we need to do is learn how to use
Photoshop,
not Photoshop,
Illustrator. Sure.
How hard can it be?
Sure. I mean, I have a subscription to lynda.com. I could be learning it right now.
I think Alexia could do that. She's got an Illustrator.
That's true.
She used to design.
She used to. I don't know. I have many artist friends who I've leaned on in the past. It's just one of those things where I'm like, I have a problem asking people to do things.
I would absolutely do it for you if I could, but I don't have those skills.
Do you not know what lynda.com is?
Yeah.
It is an online, tutorial database.
Linden? Like Linden Tree? Like Hal Linden?
No, like a Linda Blair.
Oh, lynda.com. Okay.
Except with a Y.
Like Linda Carter.
Yes.
Got
Wonder
it.
Woman.
Wonder Woman.
But you can learn it, like, there's a lot of things in there. All the Adobe, all the Avid, all
It's
that.
called
Whatever.
Linda.
I think it's named after the woman who started it.
Oh. Can we talk about the name Linda for a minute?
Sure.
Because I was watching one of my favorite shows.
Alice?
Unbreakable. No, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Okay, sure.
And on the episode I was watching last night, Titus was dating a man who had a little baby daughter named Linda. And Titus could not handle the fact that no baby should be named Linda. And it's kind of true.
That's an interesting
And he said it's a name
philosophy.
for an adult woman who works in HR.
This is
kind
true.
of is.
Maybe she's doomed.
Like, have you ever met a Linda who's a child?
No, I don't think I
I
have.
don't think I have either.
I've met Lindas who were adults.
Correct, and they probably work in HR.
No. But they may have missed their calling.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to think of how many Lindas I know.
I think know a lot of Lindas.
I only know the Linda Bryant, my friend's mother, who was a pioneering African American independent art gallery owner in New York in the 1970s.
Ooh, she sounds cool.
She's pretty cool. Her son is very smart, and when her son transferred to my school, he and I became close friends. And it wasn't until years later that I discovered that the teachers actually contacted her and were like, "We want you to be aware. Your son is hanging out with Lou Fernandez, and
that bad element.
Yeah, you should maybe think about like not."
That's horrible.
It is horrible, isn't it? It is pretty bad. It's my life in a nutshell.
That's pretty horrible.
People being like, "Oh, that guy's you're hanging out with
a loser."
Lou, right? He is a serious weirdo.
I don't get it. That's mean.
That's teachers for you. They all so mean. You looking at this dude here?
Yeah. Keep moving, sir. I'm not very
We get a lot
friendly
of
on this
gawkers.
show.
You know, it's like
Do you? I was waiting for some
it's
gawkers.
like the Today Show. You know, where everyone stands outside.
Oh, that's what we should do next time. Is have people all around the car,
Yeah,
like,
be like,
hey, with their signs.
Yeah.
I'm from Missouri.
It's John 316.
There's a guy over there. He's got his headphones on. He's ignoring.
I haven't. No, people
We
don't.
only have one viewer. Hi.
It's okay.
All right.
It's all. That's
all it
I
takes.
don't really do it for anybody,
Oh,
but for
but
myself.
your own entertainment.
Yeah, sure.
Did you take your Instagram picture yet?
Of course I did.
Okay.
I don't know how many I need before I make my book of my.
How many do you have?
I've been posting pictures of myself on Instagram for quite a while.
But are you only doing the parking pictures? Or
No,
are they
I have
all
other
your
photos.
Lou looks disgusted pictures. That's what the book can be called.
Yeah, Lou looks disgusted. That would be
I'm looking for it right now.
on Instagram.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Movies being shot in my hood today. Severely reduced parking. Great sadness. Do we have the hashtag for the show yet?
Well, with the alternate side parking or
Alternate
side
side
talking.
talking.
No, I haven't made that as a hashtag for the show. I do. But more people should use "Slaves in New York" as a hashtag for all the ridiculous things that New York
Yeah, I
makes
bet
you
that's
do.
a good one.
I never read the book by Tama Janowitz.
I did, but I couldn't tell you a thing about it.
Isn't it about
That was a long
Is it
time
the
ago.
cannibals? Or no? She had another. There was another book around the time, right? Because when Slaves in New York came out, there was like also like that was when like American Psycho came out,
Yes.
and like so there was like that whole like weird pack of writers that were sort of together.
Yes.
There was a book about like a guy from Africa coming here and then discovering that there was like a weird cannibal.
I don't remember that.
It's like a comedy, but it was about cannibals.
Was it Coming to America?
No, it wasn't Coming to America.
With Eddie Murphy and what's his name? Arsenio Hall.
Arsenio Hall. Was that Arsenio Hall's last and best movie?
I don't know if it was his last. It was probably his best, though.
He is good in it,
You know, he should make a comeback.
but he made a TV comeback.
Yeah, but he should make a comeback, like, as an actor or something. He should, like, appear in a serious role on some crazy Netflix show.
Oh, interesting.
Or, like, on Twin Peaks or one of those.
Are you watching Twin Peaks?
No, I never watched Twin Peaks
Oh.
the first time around. I didn't like it.
Well, you wouldn't like it even more now.
I was not into it. I thought it was just, like, it's just too full of itself.
The new Twin Peaks is an exercise in artistic indulgence.
That's what I thought
think.
the first one was. That's exactly the way to describe it. I'm just not as, you know.
There are moments in the show where I'm like, this is great. And there's sometimes in the show where I'm like, oh man, no one has said no to you for a while. Like this is just
Yeah.
do whatever you want.
That's kind of what I thought about the first one.
I like the first one is good until they solve
Until
the
it's
murder. Until they solve the murder. As with many things. It's good
Right.
until it's not.
And then it has no purpose.
But they once they solved the murder, they just went off the rails
Yeah.
and was cuckoo. And I remember watching it and being like, what's going to happen? And they were just like, show's over.
I'm like, I don't really care.
I did care more than I should have.
Yeah,
but
I never
there was
missed
there was not a lot of choice back then.
Yeah, that's true. And
So-
it was kind of groundbreaking for its day. I'll give it that credit.
Very surreal mystery. Have you been watching Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective
You know,
Agency?
I watched one of those and I did not care for it.
I'm sorry. I just watched the first one
I thought it was
the other
too,
day and I
like-
enjoyed it.
I feel like it
Did you
doesn't
read the
seem like
books?
something, no, it does not seem like something you'd like. It's a little too, like, twee and cutesy.
Well, did you read any of Douglas Adams?
Yes, and he can be that.
He's got a very British sense of
I
humor.
mean, I
It's
read
sort of like.
Hitchhiker's Guide.
You didn't read the other ones?
I probably read a couple of the
Restaurant at the End of the Universe.
Yeah, I think I read that one. I mean, this was like ancient history now.
This is true. It's been a long time since I read them. I bought Ace, like the compendium. It's like a huge
Yeah.
book of all of them. I think I bought it for him a little too early.
Yeah.
But
I got Alex Hitchhiker's Guide, and he just didn't get into it.
it's a very specific sense of humor.
Exactly. And it's a little dated. It feels a little dated to me. That kind of I don't know.
Did you ever read? I listened to the audiobook of Last Chance to See. Have you ever heard of that one?
Mm-mm.
Douglas Adams did a nonfiction piece where he went around to places where there were endangered animals to see if he could see one before.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And it was
a book or it was a book?
It was a book, but I listened to the audio book of it. It was really good, but it was also really depressing because it was all about like, they're out here hoping to see one. Nope, it's been killed by the cats brought over by people or whatever, Yeah, and then there's another. He made another thing. There was like a game about a cruise ship where everyone is dead, and you have to sort of figure out why everyone's dead.
Like that movie.
Which one?
That movie.
That sounds like every movie.
Dead Calm.
Dead Calm. Oh, that was the movie about the ghost ship that turns out that it's not really
Sorry,
like
the ghost ship. It's just a boat where Jason, what's his name, or what's that guy's name? Killed everybody.
Jason Voorhees.
No, not Jason Patrick, but I can't think of his name.
But isn't there another movie like that where it's like it's supposed to be scary, but then it turns out that it's not really scary? That the ghosts aren't really
scary.
Oh, okay. I can remember someone telling me about that book or that movie.
It's good.
Being like,
it's creepy.
Yes, I'm not. What's the last creepy movie that I saw on purpose? Maybe The Ring.
Oh, that's scary.
Oh,
movie. No, it's good, but
that
it's
Ring.
Scary. Did you ever see the sequel?
I think I got the gist the first time around.
Yeah, that scared me. That movie. I didn't need
Ring 2?
need to see any more of it. No, this first one. I didn't see the second one because I was too scared by the first.
That was Jody went down to Miami to go hang out with her friend Kate, and I went to go see The Ring with my friend Finn, and like Finn is very much like I can enjoy this because I realize this is not real.
Oh.
Where he can just sort of divorce himself from it, and I went home that night alone and was just like,
yeah, I get scared. Did you see what's the one about the ghost hunters with Vera Farmiga?
Ghostbusters.
No, and Patrick Wilson. It's like based on
no idea.
2 real people, and they made a sequel of it. I forget what it's called.
Oh,
that's kind of
Hansel and Gretel.
No, it's real.
Oh wait, real ghost hunters?
Yes, in the 70s.
Wait, okay, we're talking about a movie in the 70s?
No, a movie now. I'll look it up.
Oh, okay. I don't know what you're talking about at all. But yeah, like I remember Finn wanting to go see zombie movies.
Yeah.
And I forget. There's a couple movies where
The Conjuring.
Oh, I definitely have not seen The Conjuring.
It's good. It's scary.
But like Finn being like, yeah. Have you seen 28 Days Later or whatever?
That's the zombie one, right?
Yeah.
Like the post-apocalyptic
So I saw that
zombie
movie,
one.
and like I literally, it gave me that like fight or flight reflex for like a month, where I was just like what would I do? What would I do? What would I do? Like,
really?
Yeah, I hate that shit.
Oh, well, then why do you guys see the movies?
Because I was like, why is this such a good movie? Like, why is everyone talking about this movie?
Right.
And it was just such a bummer, that movie. And then
I watched the beginning of that, and I didn't. Maybe it was too scary.
It's really scary.
It's too scary.
It's a real bummer.
Well, that's why I stopped watching The Walking Dead way back when, because I was like, I don't want to be afraid.
I haven't watched very much of it either, just because of that,
the whole zombie.
Just the whole zombie thing. It's like such a like.
That's your.
Well, it's not about
Achilles heel.
reanimated corpses. It's more about like being there but not being there. Like the idea of like, your body's there but you're not there, and you're still moving around.
Oh.
It's just for some reason that the empty puppet gives me the
movie.
heebie-jeebies.
I want to see that movie Ghost Story. Or
No offense.
Ghost.
What?
That
I said
movie...
heebie-jeebies, which is terrible.
Is this?
I believe it's a racial or religious thing.
Oh my God, I actually didn't know that.
So what were you saying?
That movie, The Ghost, or A Ghost Story, I think it is, with Casey Affleck. It just came out.
Oh no, I haven't seen it.
And he's a ghost but like he appears as a ghost with a big sheet over him, like a classic Halloween
Oh,
ghost.
really?
Yes.
Well, that sounds kind of funny.
It's kind of interesting.
I like that idea.
I know.
Instead of, the kind of ghost that's like Whoopi Goldberg popping into you so you can do some dancing.
Exactly.
Well, it's not really Whoopi Goldberg. It's Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze doing Dirty Dancing.
That's right. So they can have some hot interracial lesbian action. Just to see what it's like as a ghost. It's nothing weird. You know, if anyone else had looked in on that scene, it would have been like,
what's happening?
Demi Moore and Whoopi Goldberg are making out. Cool. I guess that's what they're into.
Why not?
But yeah, scary movies. I get such a weird, like, haunting thing. We were talking about Saving Private Ryan.
Oh yeah, I saw that recently.
Oh really?
Yeah. With
the
Alex.
all the way through.
All the way through, because Alex was learning about World War II and
the guy being stabbed to death.
That's the scene that stuck with me from the first time I saw that
Yeah,
movie.
and I literally was just like, I can't sleep. I can't sleep.
Steven Spielberg movie.
I know.
Maybe if we see him, we can go say, you know,
hey,
dude.
was that a little much?
Yeah, I think that whole movie was a little much.
Stabbing
frankly.
that guy.
And that whole opening scene.
Was Tom Sizemore smoking crystal meth and hanging out with Heidi? What's her name? The Hollywood hooker.
Who's the Hollywood hooker?
Do you
Heidi
remember?
Fleiss?
Yeah, he has like Heidi tattooed on his penis.
No.
Now you know.
What's wrong with people?
Crystal meth in that case.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you remember there was this Tom Sizemore sex tape?
Yeah, I remember that he had kind of a dark, weird
And I remember watching it.
thing. Is he over that now? Like, can he be in movies again?
Well, he's in Twin Peaks.
Oh, that's right.
And he was also on an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, really?
Which he is like a weird, like, truck driver that offers to have like sex with Charlie maybe on the show. It's a very dark episode.
He kind of is a weirdo, or seems to be a weirdo.
Oh yeah.
And like, who's Mickey Rourke? Another weirdo.
Well, Mickey Rourke. I mean, that
talented weirdo, but kind of a weirdo.
So many of the talented weirdos are.
So many talents are weirdos.
They are weird. That's what I wanted to say. But have you seen? What was it? What's it called? Year of the Dragon.
With Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, that's the one where he plays a cop in Chinatown,
right.
Just like trying to take down the drug. It's like was protested by Asian actresses and Asian actors because his romantic partner in that is like this super Amerasian, tall, like she looks like she's from that clone planet from the prequels. And she's like super tall and thin, and he's like, I hate you because I was in Vietnam, glug 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 glug, come over here, let's have some rough sex, and it's like
that old lady heard you.
This lady's had rough sex.
That is mean. Don't talk about our
She probably
neighbors.
liked it. Maybe. I mean, I hope it was consensual. But yeah, so when I think of Mickey Rourke, I think of that movie because I watched it a ton.
Oh.
It has lots of cool, exciting scenes in it and
does.
whatever. And
who directed that? It's like somebody good.
I do not
It was a very
recall.
visually kind of cool movie.
But I enjoyed it quite a bit, even though Asian actresses felt
Slighted.
dehumanized, perhaps.
Oh.
It's a little, and there's like an Italian mobster scene in it that has lines you can't quote anymore because it's, it's like it's because the guy has like a voice box thing, and he's like,
geez,
"Oh, you're gonna sell." The Asian guys are going to cut out the Italians.
Yeah, right.
And the Italian mobster's like, "Who are you gonna sell to? The N-words or the spics?"
You knew that very well.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm planning for the future because of all the taking up some pretty hardcore smoking.
Really?
Yeah, lots of unfiltered Lucky Strikes.
Yeah, get them while you can.
Well, I figured out, I really want to be like a real man. So lots of unfiltered smokes.
I don't think
it's always spitting out the tobacco
we have
pieces.
4 viewers.
I know. It's an all-time high. Let's see who's there.
It's not an all-time high, is it?
Oh, it's Carl Arnheider. I think that's how you pronounce your last name. Jeff Shears, he's been a guest of the show. Steve Thompson, I went to high school with him.
I like that picture on Jeff's thing.
Oh, yeah, some sort of a terrified
bobcat?
Cat or marmot.
Marmot.
I don't know.
I don't think it's a marmot.
And Eric Marsasek, who is living in Canada, which is crazy.
Oh, hi. I hope things are well in Canada.
Oh, look at that.
What?
Reboot Arsenio Hall with a new actor playing him.
Oh, nice. Hi,
Oh, there's
Gwen.
Mark Lee.
Hi, Mark Lee. Wow, we got a whole big...
That's right.
Wow, we got commentary. This is very
All
exciting.
of a sudden, the commentary's rolling in.
This is like the interwebs
It's a weird...
in action.
Yeah.
I enjoy
People
it.
watching, people sharing. You know, there's Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
The, someone on my podcast, someone who was mad at me for an episode of my podcast that I did, wrote to me famously that the internet was created for people to get together and be themselves. And I said, that is inaccurate. I believe it was originally developed as a way to communicate in case of some sort of global catastrophe and nuclear war, that kind of thing. On top of being able to be who you really are.
That's
on the
just
internet.
a bonus use.
Yes. You're like, you know, those two scientists were like, yes, we can talk to each other.
Think of all the trash talk people can do with each other.
Well, I like to think of the scientists being like, you know, we're still alive down here. We're still alive down here. So what are you guys into? You guys into anything weird? We're over here in our nuclear bunker. Like, you ever think about like dressing up like a squirrel and maybe like having sex with another person dressed up like a squirrel?
Who's that guy?
No, we never thought of that. That guy?
Yeah.
I assume he lives in this neighborhood.
Hey, it's 8:01. We can
I know.
leave.
We can actually get out of the car now.
All right. I'm really...
Oh, Jeff is revealing himself as a
That's the
sexy
picture?
female wolf lady.
That's what the little picture is?
No, he's saying that
Or
on
that's
the internet
who
he's
he
revealing
is.
himself to be a sexy wolf lady.
Oh.
So he's watching Glow. Have you been watching Glow?
I haven't been watching Glow. You know, I don't know.
Jody and I watched the whole thing.
Really? You liked it?
It's
Something
entertaining.
about it didn't grab me.
I think Mark Maron is really good in it.
I like Mark Maron.
And
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a whirl.
it's okay.
Have you been watching Friends from College? That's the other one that came out.
That's the new one with the guy from Key and Peele in it.
Yes.
I
watched about half of them.
I only watched the first. Oh, I only saw the trailer for it. I haven't seen it.
It's okay.
Ringing
Not
endorsement.
enough Billy Eichner.
Oh, you like Billy Eichner?
I do, and he's in sort of more of a, and I use this term loosely, straight role, but he's funny on it. It's okay. I'm not loving it. I gotta tell you.
Well, before we sign off, what's a must-see Gwynne TV pick
Oh.
for mid to late summer 2017?
Well, I have been really watching a lot of Kimmy Schmidt because I always laugh, and everybody needs a good laugh.
It's a funny show.
It's a funny show. I feel like there's some other new thing out there, but I haven't seen it yet.
We had been watching Master of None.
I love that show.
Right, so we were watching that, and I decided just to
Yeah, I kind of binged that when the
watch
last
it.
season came out.
We hadn't watched it in a long time, so I decided to watch it on myself, and by myself, and
Never.
and there's like a weird gap episode in the first season where it really focuses on Dev's relationship with that girl that he meets.
The first girl.
I guess.
The girlfriend in the
spoilers.
first season.
Yeah, and it was like it's all about how like the relationship sort of becomes stale.
Oh yeah.
And it was really like, I don't need to see this.
I know, it's sad.
It's boring.
It's not. It's kind of got a nice touch to it. I like how he does the show.
It was entertaining.
And I like the
And I
music
think
he
it was
uses.
directed by Eric Warheim, which is like from Tim and Eric.
Isn't he on the show?
He is in the show.
Yeah, he's his
Apparently,
friend, right? Isn't that his super tall friend?
Yeah, apparently it was supposed to be a different actor, but then Eric got it instead because the guy couldn't do it. But
I like it.
the Eric Warheim, of course, is was Tim and Eric, awesome show, great job, which is a crazy show.
Which is a crazy show.
And
You
then he also
introduced me
directed
to.
some of my favorite super crazy music videos.
Really?
Yeah, he did that Major Lazer Pond de Floor video, which has all like the dagger dancing.
I don't see a lot of videos. I'm not at home watching the MTV anymore.
Oh well,
After
me neither.
school.
But
But they're not showing videos, I guess.
no, they aren't.
They
If
haven't
you want to
showed
watch,
videos for
you
like
want to
30
watch
years.
pregnant teens,
Right.
Or people hunting down people who
Right.
have humiliated them on the internet.
Yeah.
That's what MTV is for now. Yeah, no, I search people. The odd thing is, people are still making music videos.
I know, but where do you watch them?
Just
I guess on the interwebs.
Ask your son.
On the YouTube.
They watch YouTube constantly. Right. And the last thing before we log off is yesterday. Every once in a while, I go to worldstarhiphop.com, which is the terrible website,
Really?
and I go to sort of look at videos to see. It's a great place to see videos of people fighting and
like fist fighting.
Yeah, you want to see a group of people having a throwdown in a Wendy's. You go to WorldStar Hip Hop.
Okay, I don't think I really want to see that.
But so all these independent rap artists post their video there.
Oh.
And it is the worst.
The guys who try to sell you their CDs on the street.
Yeah, but yes, but more likely than not, just straight drug dealers who are making music because that's what they use all their drug profits for.
That's an interesting. Well, at least they're trying to do something creative with their money.
Sure, with their life-destroying drugs,
right?
They are able to make
it's like
super shit rap music.
Hey, wow, that's not a good job.
So this video that I came across yesterday is called "Piss in the Sheets," and the song goes like,
I've
just been brushing my teeth. You smell like piss in the sheets. Plus, you got shit in your teeth. It's like
maybe he's talking to his pet dog.
And then the chorus goes, "I've been brushing my teeth. You smell like piss in the sheets. You got shit in your teeth." It's like the exact same lyrics that he just sang, but he auto-tunes the shit out of it, and it's sung with the same super shit emphasis. It's just the worst. But I watched it probably like 7 times because
who's the artist?
His name is Adam, but it's spelled with an N at the end. Adam,
Adam,
something like that. Yes, Adam, and then I don't know something else. But it is straight garbage. But I will probably still watch it again today, just because.
Maybe you can use
when
that
it
as
switches
your
to the
theme song
auto
for the
tune.
show.
Just be like, hey, I'm a huge fan. Could you please record a version of "Piss in the Sheets" that I can play for my podcast?
Maybe you could do like an acoustic version.
An acoustic. I think we're gonna get an a cappella group going. Yeah.
Yes.
We'll see if we can't
For
get.
harmony.
What was the name of the group that was on? Rockapella. We'll get the guys from. Where in the world are Carmen San Diego to come and sing in?
Or
where in the world can
the barbershop
you find
quartet I saw at a Portland Sea Dogs game? The Grateful Dads.
The Grateful Dads.
Yes. They were all like in their 70s.
That's very
60s,
funny.
70s.
I just bought tickets to go see the New Hampshire, the Manchester Fisher Cats, which is another AA team up there.
Are they playing the Birmingham Mudbugs?
No, they're playing the Bowie Bay
Sox.
Yes, the Bowie Bay Sox. Very good.
Yes. Yes.
We know too much about minor league baseball.
Yes.
Anyway.
All right. Well, this has been fun.
I told you it was fun.
I'm hungry though, and I got to go to work now.
I understand.
Boo.
Me too. I got to take
work.
I got to take Asher to Fun Dungeons and Dragons camp.
Sweet.
And then
what's Ace doing?
I don't know, sleeping.
People don't want to know what your children are doing today.
If they want to, you want to come skateboard with Ace?
Oh, he's available.
Yeah, he's available. You know,
hey, there goes the guy. Hit
him up.
Hey, man.
What I originally was going to do, I was going to walk up and down the thing and be like, "Hey, I'm doing a show in my car. Do you want to come sit in my car?"
That's cool.
I think
that might scare people.
Yeah, there are a couple of people that I've made eye contact with over the years who I'm sort of like. There's like that lady who warned me that the meter maid was out.
You know what you should do is put a sign on the roof of the car, "Quiet filming."
That's right. Well, once we have all the people standing around, they'll know.
Because that'll draw a crowd.
Indeed.
And then you can get Ace to come out here and be a PA, and I say, "Can you cross the other side of the street, please?"
Do you mind? We're shooting here.
We're shooting here. Do you mind being quiet?
My favorite part of that is that you can just say no and just keep walking.
You can be like, "No, I live here, dude.
They have
out
no
of my way."
ability to stop you. But
But then that's rude. They're just trying to do their job.
When they were shooting Hutch, the Will Smith movie about Hitch.
Yes.
Up at Columbia, I was shooting my public access show back then.
Right.
I was filming myself, and then I was like, "Oh, they're shooting a movie here," and a guy told me I couldn't videotape, and I was like, "I don't want to get into an argument with you here in the street, but that's bullshit. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can film whatever I want.
Yeah.
I can film this this film shoot.
Yeah.
Get out of here, PA.
Yeah, PA.
I gotta go 10-100. That means go to the bathroom.
Why does it mean that?
It just, film talk.
Oh,
When
really?
you're on the walkie-talkies.
I never heard that term.
It's not true. I don't
Keep
actually
moving,
currently
nothing
have
to.
to.
See here.
A lot of people, when I'm shooting this, ask me if I'm going to move my car.
Why?
Wishful thinking.
Yeah. No, we're not moving our car. Move along, sir. All right, I gotta go.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Goodbye, interwebs.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in,
having me,
folks.
Lou.
Yeah, you're
This
welcome.
is fun.
We'll see you later.
Bye.